The original Mass Effect, as BioWare had hoped judging by how it ended, was a hit. So of course they had more story to tell with sequels planned and released. And for me, Mass Effect 2 came out at an interesting time even before I played the first game in this series. Why? It came out the same day as a Capcom crossover fighter I was anticipating to play, both in North America and Europe. This time, Electronic Arts is the publisher due to the buyout of the developer. And how was the sequel handled under their new parent company? Let's find out. Picking up after the first title, Mass Effect 2 starts off with the crew of the Normandy, under attack by Reaper-aligned aliens called the Collectors. The Collectors attack the Normandy, severely damaging the ship, causing Shepard to evacuate everyone, even at the loss of their own life. Or did they? 2 years later, Shepard is revived, recovering in a secret facility owned by Cerberus, a terrorist organization against the Alliance. There, while fighting off an attack, they meet Jacob Taylor and Miranda Lawson, the latter of whom in charge of the operation to bring Shepard back from the dead. Soon after, Shepard meets the Elusive Man, the head of Cerberus, tasking the commander to help fight the Collectors that destroyed the Normandy. Of course, Shepard can't do this alone, so they must get a crew and a ship, the Normandy SR-2. While Shepard has some old friends to join them, mainly Tali, Garrus, and of course Joker, they get new crewmates as well, which not only include Jacob and Miranda, but they also meet Mordin Solus, the Solarian scientist, Jack, a very dangerous convict, so dangerous I at times nickname her Biotic Broly, Grunt, a tank-created Krogan who has a very childlike mindset, Thane, a Drell assassin with a terminal illness, Samara and Justicar, and Legion, a Geth who did not follow Saren or Sovereign. And that's just the main game. The DLC also includes Kasumi Goto, a galaxy-known thief, and Zaid Masani, a grizzled mercenary. But beyond all that, like the first Mass Effect is an epic story told, especially with the choices the player makes for their own playthrough. Of course, this doesn't include more story-centered DLC, which include Normandy Crash Site, where Shepard must pay respects to the crew that had been lost, Lair of the Shadow Broker, where you must help former crewmate Liara find the aforementioned character, Overlord, which follows Shepard answering a distress call over an alleged virus taking over, and Arrival, where Shepard is assigned to rescue an Alliance scientist, only for her and her science team to go completely mad, as they are in actuality indoctrinated to assist speeding up the inevitable Reaper attack. So like in the first title, we are packed with story. On to the gameplay, and Mass Effect 2 doubles down on the third-person shooting, to the point where the shooting itself is much improved over the first title. The aiming is tightened and the shooting actually has impact. As in, I get feedback from accurate shots. Besides of the addition of some new techniques varying on Shepard's class, like for me as a Vanguard, Shepard can unleash a biotic shockwave attack, turning them into a biotic Terry Bogard. The only thing that changed on the actions front is that your ammo supply is more limited and need to reload. But it's more fluid than waiting on your damn weapons to recharge. Still, it's a vast improvement, rivaling Gears of War even. Even the hacking and unlocking minigames changed for the better. Now you have two sets of matching games. One is to match the symbols on circuitry, the other is a matchup of code under a time limit, with chances of earning bonus credits. What is toned down, however, is the exploration found in Game 1. While you can visit select planets, even seemingly abandoned ones for side quests, they are instead treated like secret levels. Plus, with the Mako out of the picture, the driving is restricted to 2 DLC packs, Firewalker and Overlord. And it's quite a shame too, as I like the driving way better in this game. I even like the idea of adding some platforming to it. Rest assured, there are plenty of quests to play through even with DLC involved, and you're definitely going to want to do them for the best ending possible, especially involving loyalty quests for your squad mates, each of them having unfinished business before the big battle. But beyond that, the RPG mechanics remain present, though leveling is a bit different as you must wait for the end of the mission to gain experience and perhaps pick your perks. The Paragon and Renegade options remain intact. Hell, in my opinion, improved with the appearances of blink and you miss it quick time events or interrupts. And I adore these as I feel it gives the personality more customization for the player as they blaze through with Shepard. For me, my Shepard is largely Paragon, a great friend and mentor to her crew, but has enough fight back to not be pushed around by any thugs. plus some renegade options that are just too badass not to do even as a Paragon. Of course, there are more romance options, with all the choices in-game present, but are either set to the side or in Liara's case via her DLC, you can continue that, or explore the new ones Mass Effect 2 delivers. All that in mind, as in the original title, the choices you make carry on to the third game, which don't expect a review of this year. Moving on to the audio, and once again you have a lot of solid performances in this. Several of the voice cast that was present in Mass Effect 1 are present here, but the new cast once again has some celebrity and voice acting veterans in this title, including Yvonne Strovsky as Miranda Lawson,
listening in, and she's feeding misinformation about Niket making a switch. Or maybe it means something else. Niket wouldn't do that.
Steve Bloom as Grunt,
I was just sitting here thinking. The picture, I'm finally starting to get it. There's a tank imprint, the battle at Canrum. A dead Turian, stripped. You don't see them out of their armor much. A Krogan boot on his head, and a claw hammer. It's under the brow plate, pulling it back, right? Eyes have gone black, and you see tension in the muscle. You can feel it ready to snap. I get it.
Trisha Helfer as Edie,
I've regained control of the platform, Shepard.
I knew you wouldn't let us down, Edie.
I always work at optimal capacity.
Maggie Baird as Samara,
I am ready to leave this place and get on with my life. Are you ready to go as well?
Do you want to talk about what happened?
Shepard, what do you think I will say? What can I say? I just killed the bravest and smartest of my daughters. There are no words. I will try another time. For now, show mercy on a broken old warrior and let us leave.
Courtney Taylor as Jack,
Still checking out your ship. Wouldn't mind putting her through her paces when you're not around.
I doubt Joker would appreciate that. At least not while we're working.
Relax. Joyriding doesn't have the thrill it used to. Besides, if I wanted it, I'd take it.
That's so...
I've been around. Ran with gangs, wiped out some gangs, joined a cult. Kept the haircut.
and Martin Sheen as the elusive man.
Shepard, you're making a habit of costing me more than time and money.
Sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you. Getting a lot of bullshit on this line.
Don't try my patience. The technology from that base could have secured human dominance in the galaxy against the Reapers and beyond.
Human dominance? Or just Cerberus?
Strength for Cerberus is strength for every human. Cerberus is humanity.
All sound great, so no complaints. The music, of course, remains as epic as ever, still having that sci-fi epic feel. Visually, I'm glad BioWare took more time to give the graphics some more work, as the original game looked pretty rough around the edges. Mass Effect 2, even on Xbox 360, looked very clean and polished by comparison. And on the Xbox One via Legendary Edition, in my case the One X, it doesn't look that much different besides some visual tweaks to look more in common with Mass Effect 3. Hell, the Normandy is even darker like the game after it too. To end, I want to talk about some alterations in the Legendary Edition. Mass Effect 2 was criticized for how BioWare tried to show the character Miranda Lawson to the player, particularly with how the camera liked to get too up close to very specific parts of her body, mainly when she speaks about her family, but it happens other times. Though the Legendary Edition alters this in some scenes, it's still needlessly awkward. Less so than before, but still. Another mention is that New Game Plus, which was added in last minute, is kind of pointless to do in this game due to level remaining capped at 30, so don't bother. Overall, Mass Effect 2 is one hell of an improvement over its predecessor with its smoother action and better Paragon/Renegade options. Alongside the prior game, it's a must play.